Hello, Internet. I'm Joe.
I'm Eric.
And I'm staring at Rocket League.
And you're listening to Just Cool Enough, a show where Joe has to fucking live tweet that his bowel movements to us instead of just saying, hey, I'm going to be a little late. He's like, I'm going to be late because I'm taking a huge dump. Oh, such a good dump, though. You can't rush these dumps. Guys, if you could see these dumps right now.
I think he put it live on Facebook. He was doing it that way.
Yeah, he was basically live tweeting his shits. And we're like, yeah, okay, fine, go away.
You can follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/JoeQCar.
Trust me, you don't want to.
Follow him on Instagram to see his new Instagram stories where he talks about his dumps.
That is not true. In fact, your Instagram name is mostly shit anyway. So, and also, thank you for finally being my friend on Instagram, Eric. It was a welcome surprise that you requested me, because usually I'm the one hunting you down on social media.
That was a long time ago. That was a mistake. I'm going to correct that right now. I'm going on my phone.
Don't you do it.
I'm going to unfriend you on all this stuff.
Well, now that we got all of that out of the way... Oh my gosh! I can't wait to get to your guys' weeks. We have emails. We have We have a huge donation, at least huge in our.
Somebody took a huge dump in our donation box.
Bucket. Thank you, Brady. I just he didn't send an email or anything this week, but I just want to thank Brady because he made a large donation, and I think it's probably the largest donation we've gotten in a while. The other my wife chimes in that $5. It's more than $5. Wife, don't let it. Yeah,
it's $5.01. No.
August 30th. Our first episode was August 30th, 2009.
Oh my gosh.
We got it like 3-4 weeks.
And then we'll be together for 7 years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man, that's incredible. I
said that as somebody else named Eric also looked it up.
Oh, thank you. Oh, by the way, the other Eric, and Blazers 33X and who else is in there? Art and Brady all are in the live chat room. Go to justcoolenough.com/live, and you can join in the mob mentality that is our live chat room. Also, the live chat room is brought to you by Alpha Geek Radio, Alpha Geek Media. Todd over there provides us with the live chat room and streams this out to a bunch of great devices. You can go check out so many different shows. Check out Show X. It is the imagine Octal and Hordak versus the World if you used to listen to that way back when, and imagine the next evolution of that show. Show X is that show. Go check it out. It's on Alpha Geek Media, so go take a look at that. And if you're around 6:30 Eastern Time, go to the live chat room along with all those other guys in there. We have emails this week. We got things to talk about. We're going to be talking about how we deal with stress later in the show. But first, as always, I want to ask, how is
Joe live feeds his stress. But we already talked about that.
Sometimes it gets a little messy.
I'm going to be a little late.
I'm going to be a little late, guy. I wanted to start off with you this week because it looks like you had an excellent week.
I played Pokemon this week.
Yeah? What else did you do?
Made $100 off the Dr. Phil show.
What?
Is that what you mean? $100 for Dr. Phil show for all of 3 seconds of video.
So, Ike, you can honestly say you're a professional photographer now.
I make my living doing professional photography and video.
So how did this all refresh the listeners? Because we actually have a lot of live new listeners, or a lot of new listeners.
I mean, as long as you credit me again, Joe, because
professional photographer and videographer Ike Dodge, everyone.
So a few weeks ago, I took a picture of a cop playing Pokemon that went Pokemon Go with some local residents here in Fall River, and it went viral and made it around the country, and got picked up by the Dr. Phil show because of one of its affiliates who had posted on the CBS news site here in Boston. And so I made friends with the cop, and he said, "Hey, listen, they were going to send a film crew in, but they didn't have. They ended up not being able to, so they're looking for somebody who can shoot video on their iPhone because they're going to use my photo anyway." And so,
with or without your permission,
with my permission, I gave a release, but
we're going to use it anyways, even if you say no. Fuck you! It's the internet.
Right? That's how the internet works. So I released the photo for free, and then they were like, "Well, we also need somebody to take some video of the cop playing Pokemon for a PSA." So I went and filmed a little bit and sent it to them, and they ended up using all of 3 seconds of the 45 seconds I ended up recording. And
that's great.
$100.
So you got paid by a big-time network to record media.
Yeah.
You finally made it big, man. You're a contributor. You could
Who,
say you're.
who knew of the three of us, I was going to be the one that made it to the mainstream first.
We
I made
spread
$100 a couple of weeks ago filming some shit. Like, that's not a big deal.
Am I the only one who didn't make $100 filming stuff?
Probably.
No, but Ike broke through. He's on the main network. He's on network television. I didn't. Okay,
You could call Dr. Phil making it.
Yeah, I actually kind of regret them putting my name on that one. Like, fought for my name to get on a lot of my
Eric,
shit.
don't be a naysayer. Don't be a naysayer. How many Dr. Phil episodes have you been on?
Daytime television. Daytime television. That's like that's like I was a caller on a morning drive show or something.
Well, I mean,
who gives a shit?
No, it's better than that because they I don't know. It's better than that in some way, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. He could get an Emmy nomination for his daytime television appearance on Dr. Phil.
Why do you gotta make
No,
him
not
so
an appearance. Not an appearance. Let's not go that far. I haven't gone on the Dr. Phil show.
Not yet. You haven't.
I might though. Who knows?
Yeah, they'll be like, we need bald guys who take pictures with their iPhone, and then.
Well, the cop I was talking to.
They need on-purpose bald guys, not just guys who have no hair. Guys who have hair and choose not to have it.
On-purpose bald guys are the worst. Ike.
So
the reason you go bald is because you got problems. You got hair problems. I'm gonna have to shave my head one day. It's gonna happen. But I'm holding on to all the hairs I can because I don't want to be on-purpose bald guy. So I think that's rotten, Ike. Congratulations.
I was going to say that I came on the show to de-stress, but I don't think that's the case anymore.
There hasn't been a good old-fashioned beat-up on Ike show for a while. It's been me lately, so this is a welcome shift.
You mean always, forever?
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think.
By lately, I mean for the last 340-something episodes. Remember when all the episodes? Nah, never mind. Eric, how was your week?
My week was okay. A lot less eventful. A lot less celebrity sightings and trips to San Diego than my previous week. But it was pretty good. I got my new sketch team. We've been rehearsing and doing well, doing all kinds of the comedies. We got our show coming up at the end of this month, which I'm looking forward to. And I also did a friend of mine does a show at the Nerdist, which is just like an open mic. And I did it once before and did stand up, and I enjoyed the experience. I thought I would go again, but this time I was like, I'm not going to just do stand-up. I'm going to do something a little weird. So what I did was I went up like I was about to do stand-up, and I pulled out my phone, because that's where most stand-ups keep their notes, and I'm like, oh, Pokemon Go's going. And then I was like, hold on a second. And then I go, oh my God, there's a Snorlax in this room somewhere. And then I pressed a button on my phone and started playing the Pokemon theme on my phone, and then spent 3 minutes while the Pokemon theme was going, searching around the room for a Snorlax, and then trying to catch Snorlax, and then failing a bunch of times, and just kind of improvised it. It was weird. It was okay. I didn't really rehearse it enough, but I did something weird and fun and comedic.
I was going to say, so you've crossed over from just doing stand-up to doing experimental comedy. Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I think it's called alternative comedy.
Alternative comedy.
I wouldn't call
observational comedy.
No, it wasn't observational.
Yeah, you're right.
I wasn't making an observation. I was making an ass of myself.
Right. Yeah. Like he's not talking about airlines.
But you're always making an ass of yourself. Are you saying that you're always being funny?
No, I'm saying that I'm always being alternative, which isn't always funny. Which is why nothing I ever do is actually funny, because I can just say it's alternative comedy. That's why no one's laughing.
Right, exactly. Wubba lubba dub dub, Eric. We get it. Okay, so that's actually really cool that you're confident enough to go up on stage and try some new stuff. Because
I wasn't. I was terrified, but there was only 3 people in the audience, and I knew 2 of them. So.
Well, that's the thing with confidence. You don't have confidence until you do, right? If somebody fakes confidence, that's actually confidence, like you're not fooling anybody, but going out there and doing it, that's a form of confidence. So don't sell yourself short, man. That's pretty awesome.
I'll sell myself for however much I want. You can't tell me. I'm a modern woman.
I just want you to, never mind. Anyway, I guess I'll talk about my week now. I went to a concert, and it was, so what happened is after we did a 3 or 4 venue restaurant crawl for happy hours on a Friday. Sarah and I, we were like, all right, we're gonna hit all the happy hours. We're gonna spend like $10 at each place. We're gonna get fish tacos. We're gonna get fondue. And so we got sushi. We went to all these places, and then we went to a coffee house, and it's by the Michigan Theater in downtown Ann Arbor. Here, we're still living in downtown Ann Arbor, and we see this big line of people, and we're like, what's going on? Is there a food truck? And we look over there. No, it's just all these people lined up for Michigan Theater. We walk by, and what happens is Lindsey Sterling is in downtown Ann Arbor. Do you guys know Lindsey Sterling, the violinist?
Yeah, violin player.
She's amazing, and I was super excited to see her. And I doubt they had any tickets, so I went up to the box office window just to ask, and they're like, we have 6 tickets left for this, and they're all on a bench. I'm like, are you kidding? A bench? I'll take them. Hot damn. So took the tickets, sat on the uncomfortable bench. The first act was terrible. I don't know who it was. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Lindsey Sterling comes out, freaking rocks it for like an hour and a half. It was if you use the term entertainer, she is the epitome of that. I have never been so mesmerized. Mesmerized is the word I keep circling back to. If you get a chance to see her live, you have to do it. It is truly, and I'm not using this word lightly, awesome. It is an awesome experience. You've got to check it out. Lindsey Sterling live. And we did it on a whim, which was really fun. And I sat on a bench for an hour and a half to 2 hours. Didn't even care once Lindsey Sterling got on because she was that good. And I complain about everything. You guys know. So
I just thought that's because you're Italian.
Well, that's also true. Well, I do complain.
But I didn't know it had to do with it. You were always sitting on a bench as well.
No, sometimes I sit on plastic couches.
Oh.
Like couches with plastic over them to save from all the spaghetti.
Do you complain on those?
Gabagoo. Also, another thing. Did you guys see Star Trek?
I did.
No.
Eric, did you see it? Oh my gosh.
I wanted
Eric,
to, but I had to do this fucking show last week.
I went and saw it with Blazers 33X in the chat room. Go to the live chat room and hang out with Blazers and other people. JustCoolEnough.com/live. Wow. Okay, I don't want to blow any loads here for the movie, but Eric, I can't wait for you to see it. Are you gonna? Are your
words?
Give me a
Words?
thumbs up?
I give it a
thumbs
thumbs up.
down? What do you think?
I really enjoyed
I give it
it.
a thumbs up too.
I also saw
I
Ghostbusters.
also
Not
really
as good as Star Trek, but it was still good.
Okay, I'm gonna see Ghostbusters this coming weekend. Eric, did you see Ghostbusters?
Yeah, we talked about that. I loved it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You made me want to go see it, and then I decided to see Star Trek instead. So yeah, Star Trek.
No, I get it. I get it. You're a misogynist. It's fine.
I'm a misogynist. Ooh, yeah.
You're a misogynist? Ooh.
I'm a misogynist.
That's how I like to de-stress.
I like
nice
to de-stress.
misogynist.
A good
I like
misogynist.
how I called you a misogynist, and then you tried to say a misogynist, and it just kind of said misogynist again, and like didn't get the joke, and then Ike saved it by making a joke out of it. So it took like three steps. It takes 3 steps. Ike saved it.
Is this
I'm your joke safety.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
I'm your spotter, your joke spotter.
Joke spotter. Yeah, it's like I'm lifting.
Whoa.
It's like I'm lifting a really heavy load, and Ike's just sitting there.
Ike's just standing there. He's like, all you.
I don't got it. My hands are flying around.
Massage artist.
Yeah. Okay. So, also, one more thing, Ike. You did some awesome photos, and I wanted to talk about that.
Photos.
You did photos for your with your soon-to-be wife.
Oh yeah, those things. No, I had my friend Matt Norris is a professional photographer. Unlike me, who's like wants to be a professional photographer and just says it because I'm on Dr. Phil. He's like legitimately that's how he makes a living. And we went out and brought some props with us and had our engagement photos taken. And yeah, usually we've seen a lot of. He does a lot of like con stuff. Like he'll go and take pictures of people at steampunk cons and really do some really fantastic work with them. And like his engagement / wedding photos aren't that bad either, but they're usually pretty like standard. Like let's get in a nice clothes and pose nice in the middle of a park or whatever. But with us, we had a little fun with it. We had our Harry Potter wands and some of our zombie chasing gear, and we got some really cool pictures. D&D D&D books. We brought my D&D 3.5 stuff, and yeah, we had some pretty fantastic work. So if you're on Facebook, you can find me on Facebook, Ike Dodge. You can friend me, or you can find Matt Norris, and he'll show you. You can see his stuff too, or mgnorris.com. If you're looking for it, you'll find some of the stuff there. Yeah,
it's pretty great stuff. Ike's sitting there with his fiance Amanda, and there's a kraken in the background, and Ike's like doing some necromancy stuff. It's really good. So I don't know, friend Ike on Facebook or something. It's
made a day out of it. Totally worth it. And I was talking to him. He was like, oh, I did all this. We paid him like what anyone would. It was good price. And then later on, I was talking to him. He's like, oh, here you go. Here's all the stuff. And I'm like, oh, he's like, yeah, I usually don't do all this editing. I charge extra for any special editing, but nobody ever asked for it. He's like, this was really fun, and I had a blast.
Yeah, so, and it's really well done. I've never seen such creative engagement photos. Hats off to both of you guys. You took excellent photos too, so awesome. Well, ladies, gentlemen, we had a contest here that was won by the same person that sent in Steam keys last week. So I'm tempted to send him
his own Steam key.
His own Steam keys back.
Just forward his own Steam keys back to him.
So Jack V, you win the share competition. If you don't know, every week here we're doing a competition. If you share, and then I'm also going to add this in, if you share or mention Just Cool Enough on Facebook, only on Facebook, it doesn't count anywhere else, because that's the only place I could actually track it with any sort of reliability. If you share or mention now this week, Just Cool Enough, you get a chance at a free Steam key. Jack wins because he shared the story about how to build a high-end gaming table for $150 or so, and that story got some traction. I thought it was a cool thing, and if you want to follow more things and see other stories like that, go to justcoolenough.com/whatever. Go to facebook.com/justcoolenough and go follow us there. Also, man, we have not gotten an iTunes review in a really long time. That's super important, so go check us out on iTunes.
Who uses iTunes anymore?
I don't know. People. Some people do. I know Eric does in our live chat room. So we're gonna talk about stress here today. And
we didn't even get to the emails.
But yeah, read Eric's last because that one actually kind of leads into it.
I know, but we have other emails. Well, we had one other email.
Read it away. Read away.
Because he's been talking about us being on the putting out there that we're doing the show live. This is from Danny, and Danny writes to us. Hello, Eric, Ike, and Joe. I was wondering how your Pokemon adventures are going, and if any of you have ever read The Dark Tower. And then from Artemis.
I started it, and I didn't get very far. But I'm excited for the movie because Idris Elba's in it.
Who is?
Idris Elba.
Is that like Jessica's brother or something?
No, he's the guy. He's a bad guy in Star Trek, the new Star Trek. He was the boss guy in Pacific Rim.
Oh, okay.
You and your Hollywood, Eric. Jeez.
How do you not know Idris Elba?
I mean, I know because I saw Star Trek. I know the guy who you're talking about, but I don't know who he is because I just don't pay attention.
How do you? He's in all the things.
Well, I don't watch all the things. I barely watch any of the things.
He's the best part of most movies.
I don't watch most movies. Eric. You live in Hollywood. Like this is what you. Like,
you know who he is.
You freaking out that you don't
know.
You
know who he is. Stop pretending like you don't know who the fuck Idris Elba is.
I've never heard that name before.
He was Russell Bell from The Wire.
I don't know who Russell Bell is. I've never watched The Wire. It's like me complaining that you don't know what car thing.
Pacific Rim.
I've never seen Pacific Rim.
Why have you never seen Pacific Rim?
That should be a movie we cover on Just Cool Enough.
Oh yeah, we should. We haven't done a movie.
Actually, they do Atlantic Rim on Netflix.
Is there really a thing called Atlantic Rim?
Yes.
Well, I'd more rather go. I favorite them when I see them, but like they've got both Mummy movies and Jurassic Park. I'd rather talk about those movies.
I mean, we could do something like that.
What's the guy's name again? Idris Elba?
Idris Elba, right? Like Jessica Alba's brother.
Idris but with an E. Just
Albert,
search.
Albus Dumbledore?
He's in Doctor Who, right?
No, he's never been in Doctor Who. Though people wanted him to be the first Black Doctor Who.
Black Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It worked in Blazing Saddles. Anyway,
sometimes I wish I was on a show with funnier people.
Eric, you have to make that happen. That's not up to me. That's up to you.
That doesn't just happen overnight. You gotta be the change.
Yeah, you can't just expect funny to happen. You have to be the funny. Be the funny you want to see in real life.
My favorite part of improv. No, but.
Wait, is that a real thing? Because I don't know. I've never taken any improv. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be and, right? See, Eric, you just don't understand.
Maybe we get Eric to do improv with us next week as our show topic.
Can we stop doing this show once we hit 7 years? I think done.
So, yeah, maybe. We'll try. So, anyway, let's read some more emails.
Well, that was and then it's just which ReZero girl is your favorite, but I'm afraid I don't know what that is.
I don't watch.
I googled it because that takes a third of a second, and it's some anime that I've never heard of.
Well, yeah, you know Danny. He's always watching.
They're all my favorite then. I'm gonna have to go.
I like that one that's like that. The one that has boobs and is in love with the main character, even though he's a coward and can't talk to women.
Yeah, it's so weird that.
I'm just going to guess that that's one of them, because that's every anime ever, so I'm sure that that's one of them.
Yeah, it's too bad about his parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have another email. Ike?
We do. We have an email that's on point with what we're talking about today, which is what, Joe? What's our topic today?
Our topic today is... Oh my gosh, I didn't put it in the thing. But I know it because it's about de-stressing and relaxing. How do you deal
stressing
with
about
a
not
rough
putting
day?
the stressing topic in our thing.
Oh, okay.
Just relaxed enough? This is from Imposter Eric. He says, "Hey, JCE crew, I'd like just to extend my thanks to the real Eric and real Ike for having important life events to attend to and giving myself and my buddy Imposter Ike a chance to co-host your wonderful show.
If you call Comic-Con important."
It's better than this show. I bothered Joe for 3 days so I could write a topical email, and now I can. When I have a rough day, I like to unwind by having a bath in the blood of the people who have caused me wrong. External. There we go. Application of hemoglobin really does wonders for your skin, but make sure that it's your blood type, or else you may receive adverse reactions. Ha ha ha! Just kidding.
Yeah, not true. You can bathe in the blood of any blood. There's as long as you're not injecting it into your veins, into your circulatory system, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But in reality, I am one of those people with such high caffeine addiction that when life has me steaming a fresh cup of coffee with an extra sugar and extra cream helps me roll on my shoulders back. Helps me roll my shoulders back and let go. He failed at reading.
What I love about Ike is that he'll read it wrong and then go, "What?" Like it's their fault.
No, I realize the what's always directed at myself because I can't figure out why my eyes are moving faster than my brain can process words.
Read it. We can get like the Siri voice, be like, "Listen to the cheesy yes."
Listen, I only have one job on this show. You can't take this away from me.
Yeah, this is why we don't like. Yeah, we made Sarah read it once, and he flipped out. He flipped the fuck out. He's like, "I do one thing here. It's the one thing that justifies my existence here."
And that is play video games during the show.
I'm not playing video games right now. Listening to the cheesiest of cheese 80s pop hits also tends to help, as it's really hard to be pissed off to Wham. Anyway, guys, keep up the good work. I only have 143 more episodes in the back catalog to go through, numbers 28 through 170. It's starting to get a little weird. Truly yours, Imposter Eric. P.S. In the last episode, Real Eric said that Imposter Ike said, "I'm Ike" in the intro. If you don't want me to.
Yeah, you don't have to read that.
What?
Okay, fine. Keep reading.
That's all right. I'm done now. You ruined it.
All right, good.
Stopped.
Well, because you don't have.
He wrote a lot more that we can discuss, but we're not gonna because of reasons.
Okay, fine. Keep going.
No, I'm gonna let you read it. You stopped it. You read it.
Oh my gosh, I don't like doing that.
Well, too bad.
Okay, fine. P.S. In the last episode, real Eric said that imposter Ike said, "I'm Ike," in the intro. But that is untrue, as he's actually inquired about the amount of furries residing in Delaware. However, that's as far as I can read.
However, I see where the confusion would lie. If Ike had a persona, it would probably be a wolf-fox hybrid, because, of course, it's going to be a wolf-fox hybrid, and would be some kind of grayscale earth tone color scheme, because art, don't ask me how I know. PPS, shout out to Brad, shout out to Brady, just because I borrow/stole the way he traditionally subjects and starts his emails. How am I the best one at reading? I am severely learning disabled.
I never said I was good at the reads. This is just, I mean, we can pre-produce this segment, and then we'll just take a break 5 minutes into the show. Like, well, time to read those emails, and then we'll play 30 minutes of pre-produced segments, and then we'll come back and talk about the main topic. There, that's what we're gonna do.
That sounds like every show we do anyways.
Yeah, this whole thing is just a cut of all of our previous episodes. So
I'm so stressed right now.
If you want to send an email to this show, you can. Our email address is theshow@justcoolenough.com. Again, that email address is theshow@justcoolenough.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for emailing, guys.
Ike, did you get it? Did you get my? I tried to do a transition.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I caught it, but he just drove it right into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really feeling the whole gelling going on. It's really stressing me out, guys. It's really making me angry. I wish there was some way to relax. If only I knew a good way to de-stress, like the whole main topic. If you had just a shitty day or a crappy week, and having a bad time, Eric, what do you do to kind of unwind and reset yourself and totally de-stress? What do you do?
I don't know, because I'm usually not that fucking stressed. I have an incredibly easy, mundane life where nothing ever happens and I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have a job. I live at home. I don't have to worry about finances or anything. For the most part...
Okay, Eric, this. I was prepared for you to say this, which is why I decided to bring up this. How do you deal with your anxiety? Because I think your anxiety of social situations causes you the most stress in your life. So what do you do to kind of get yourself back into the mode of living again, rather than just being caught up with that emotion of anxiety?
Usually spiral out of control till I reach the point where I'm hovering over like my delete entire Twitter and Facebook account buttons and just going, just like, this will solve everything. Everything will be better once I do this. And then I'm just like, but that would really then realize, like, even if I wanted to, it would really fuck up so much of my life if I didn't have a Facebook, because so many things I do are like, so many forms of communication are people sending me Facebook invites. It's like there's this girl on my improv team, Nikki, who doesn't have Facebook or Instagram or any of that stuff, and she's always complaining because we never invite her to anything. And we're like, no, you were invited to. Oh yeah, you don't have Facebook, so and like she's not gonna.
How do you even exist without is that social media side of thing?
I don't know. We did it for like the first 2/3 of our life up to this point. How did you do it then?
You know what I mean, though. Like I have a cousin who I'd love to hang out with and talk with once in a while, but he just missed the boat on the social media thing and decides not to get on it. And the only way I could talk to him is through his wife or his sister. And I guess I could pick up the phone or something, but I don't know his phone number because I can't ask him on Facebook Messenger. So what am I supposed to do? Really?
I don't know. Move on.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah,
what do you do when you get to that point, Eric?
I mean, I don't know, because when it happens, I usually just I take a nap. That's my go-to thing. It's like I have to take a nap before I do something horribly drastic.
So you kind of put some time in between you and doing something brash.
No, I just I have to shut my fucking mind off before I go completely over the deep end. That's my thing.
That seems reasonable. I think removing yourself from the situation is sometimes the best solution, especially if you're stressed out. You don't want to make bad decisions because you're stressed or anxious or filled with anxiety. Like, what about you? What do you do to de-stress after a hard day? Is Ike not talking, or is that just me?
Oh, I had that clock in the background. My fiance put new batteries in, and now it goes off every hour. So I want to make sure you weren't going to listen to the Beatles playing in the background for a moment. Okay. And if I turn my mic back on, I think at the end of every day, if I'm stressed out, I will tend to play video games. I like playing video games, like meeting up with friends and just chilling out for a few hours, and that's how I de-stress.
So you kind of do it as a social thing, because I know a lot of the games that you play often involve other people. So
yeah, I don't play a whole lot of single player. Like, even though I have a lot, I don't play them very much because they don't have that social aspect. And I would rather lose like 20 games in a row just having a blast with people than I think have a really good time playing by myself.
I've had some really good times trying to de-stress with you guys, and losing a bunch of matches in a row. So yeah, I can understand that. That's good. A lot of times my first reaction if I'm having just a crap time is to really just spend some alone time, get away from it either by taking a long walk or a long drive or something like that. Just kind of doing my own thing and going off of the reservation for a little while and taking a spirit journey of sorts, just vegging out in my own head, overanalyzing a situation that is stressing me out and seeing if I can come up with a solution, try to outthink.
Doesn't that not make it worse?
It does initially. It definitely does initially, but then I find once I can kind of calm myself down and I can rationalize why I did the things I did, and then say, okay, well, that all happened, so what can I do to make this a positive? I think a lot of the times when I'm stressed out, it becomes a thing where I could turn it into a positive, or I at least try to. And that's why, I have so many different projects and things like that fail early and often, but yeah, a lot of times they cause me some stress. But video games, I try not to. This is another thing I try to do. I try not to associate things that I really enjoy with stress because I don't want to foul them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that. Well, like they say, don't study when you're in college. Don't study while sitting on your bed because you'll associate your bed with studying, and then you'll stay up. And I think the same thing you could say with stress.
Like even if I'm like in an argument with my wife or something like that, and a song comes on that I like, I'll turn the song off because I don't want to mire that song in whatever I'm experiencing at that moment, because for whatever reason music just really, even though I'm not an audiophile, but music is another big de-stressor for me and motivator sometimes too.
And I get that because with video games, like for so long my computer would shut down, would just like lock up when I played video games, that it became a stress for me. Like it, without fail, every it was random at first, and then it would be like after an hour or so, maybe every once in a while, and then it was 10 to 15 minutes without fail into any game I played, and it just became a stress for me, like playing games in 10-minute chunks, and then like I still struggle to play games for more than 10 minutes because after about the 10-minute mark, my brain just tells me, well, it's gonna lock your computer up. You better stop playing now.
It sucks when you lose the trust in your hardware.
Yeah.
That happened to me. That happened to me with brakes on a car one time.
No, that's even worse than hardware, like computer hardware.
And then for months, and sometimes I have flashbacks. I'm like, wow, brakes can just stop working. That's amazing. So now I'm meticulous about braking systems because it's the most important safety system in the world.
Brakes can stop working when somebody cuts them. Is that what you're telling us happened? Because they don't just stop. They just don't stop.
Anyway, our chat room, justcoolenough.com/live, which we do the show every week at 6:30 Eastern Time, and some other times they're listed on our Facebook page. Go check it out. Thanks for making that image, Eric. That was clutch. Our chat room says deleting my digital presence is my dream. That's from Brady, and I feel like scaling back digital presence is a lot of people's dreams at this point. I think we went through a thing of oversharing, and now people are stressed out.
No, I don't think you have gotten on the other side of that, Joe. You overshare about your bowel movements all the time.
No, you guys overshare about my bowel movements. I was keeping you guys in the loop, so you didn't feel like I was just
that was too much in the loop.
That
We
was
don't
TMI?
like the.
Hey,
we
I'm
don't
going
need
to the
any of the
bathroom. I'll be
loops.
late. Okay, that's
You could just say, or you
I'm
could
gonna
just,
say-
as I said at the top of the show, you could say running a little late.
Okay, next time I'll say running a little late, and then I'll use an emoji so you guys know what's going on.
No,
no,
you don't
no
have to do that.
emoji. No.
You
What?
could stop.
I feel like that
I will
takes
give the listeners an exact quote of what you said. FYI.
No, don't do that. That's disgusting.
He said to us,
Oh,
FYI, I'm
Eric.
emptying my bowels. First message he sent to us. And then it's going to be much as for pre-show for us, these things cannot be rushed. And I was like, okay, I understand what he said, typo. Then he decided, that's not good enough. I'm going to retype that message and send it out again with the
Fixing
proper
this item.
grammatical and spelling.
Well, it was
It's
bad.
not going to be that much of a pre-show for us. These things can't be rushed. I'm like, you didn't have to say that one time, let alone two.
Excuse me for being a good communicator. You know, I too many people don't keep you in the loop. Maybe I overshare too much. Okay.
No, you keep us in the poop. That's we've gone
Damn it,
past the loop at that point.
You get demerit, because I was thinking, I was like, that's the worst joke that it could be made at this time. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna put it on the shelf, the top shelf, and just leave it there. And you made the bad joke, not me, Eric. I want to put this on the record. I made the bad joke.
That would work, but you said that that's a top shelf joke, and that's not. That's clearly bottom shelf joke.
It is bottom. You actually gave it a little bit more credit than it needed.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Like
sorry.
it's like going and buying the top shelf, wanting to buy the top shelf.
No, isn't top shelf? You put it all the way
You
up
put
the
all the
top
good
shelf?
stuff on the top shelf.
Yeah,
That's
the good
like top
shelf.
shelf.
Get it on.
Top shelf
It's harder to
vodka.
get.
Well, I didn't put jokes and vodka in the same. I guess okay. Fine.
Tequila,
What-
top shelf tequila. You don't put that in the
Yeah,
bottom
okay.
shelf. That's where you
No,
get
you're
the
right,
the
you're
toilet
right.
water.
Yeah.
You're right. No, Pop Off is
See?
the bottom shelf, and Grey Goose is the top shelf. Got it. Okay, de-stressing. This is Blazers33X in the chat room. I de-stress with ice cream and TV. Good moves. In fact, that ties into one of the ways I de-stress, which is food, which means I'm pretty stressed a lot of the time. So
See that because food is one of my stress causers. So if I'm like, oh, I feel stressful, I'm gonna eat. That doesn't help me because then I go, oh fuck, I'm a monster. I'm worse than I thought I was, and that just sends me down the rabbit hole. So
no,
like,
it does the same thing for me too. So it's really bad. The circle. It's a snake eating its tail thing again. So I've used definitely used food for too long, and that's one of the things that I've been doing better at not doing, because realizing exactly what you're talking about, Eric, where it ends up just causing me more stress because I'm beating myself up like, oh my gosh, I just indulged with 4,000 pounds of carbohydrates, and now I've got to beat myself up about this, and it just stresses you out more.
yeah, work wasn't great, so I ate an entire wheel of cheese, and now everything hurts inside me.
This baguette is just the best. I'll have 3 more and just dip it right into peanut butter or something. Just combos that don't even make sense. It's like I'm pregnant. I'm like, oh, put some bacon and M&Ms and mayonnaise together. This is what I need right now. Just anything, really. It's terrible. So that's caused some stress in my life, that's for sure. Yeah, and you guys ever just go on like the long walk? Take the long walk just to cool down some?
No.
I used to bike ride a lot, not so much anymore, but that's it. And I guess I kind of use the running now as a de-stressor too. I like to go out and go for 3 miles or whatever, or go to the gym even if it's with a significant other. But headphones in, different treadmill, whatever the case may be. So I'm in my own world, kind of like you're talking about.
So sometimes to de-stress, I'll actually listen to other people's struggles. So
wow, my life's not as shitty as that guy.
Right. Because if you have a little bit more perspective on things, a lot of times that helps helps me get through crappy times where you're just like, well, at least I'm not that guy kind of a thing, or at least I didn't have to endure this, especially when...
At least I wasn't fucked to death by a horse like Mr. Hand.
Oh, God. Things like that, exactly. You just keep that one in your back pocket, and
whenever I'm feeling real bad, I just watch that video of Mr. Hand being fucked to death by a horse.
Oh, God, Eric. Why do you even bring that up? I'm going to make sure not to talk about that anymore. That's disgusting.
Well, you got to put it in the tags for SEO.
I'm not, we don't want that kind of SEO, Eric. Just because you learned what search engine optimization is doesn't mean you have to use it like that.
Oh, fine. Yeah, I'm finally taking SEO into consideration in this show, and then you fucking all up on my shit about it. I'm like finally taking the time to learn, and it's not good enough.
It's not. No. We hold ourselves to a higher standard here on Just Cool Enough. Mention something about women and de-stressing. Can you do that? We got to put some more girl stuff in these tags. Oh, misogynist. That's what it is. Get a massage. Have you ever had a massage before at a resort or something like that?
No, because the idea of lying on a table naked and having someone touch me is terrifying.
Right, exactly. So I've had a massage before, and all it did is stress me out. That was the opposite of de-stressing. I think having a massage was probably one of the more stressful times in my life because it was kind of like going to the doctor's office. You got to put on a robe, and then you're in this room, and it's awkward and weird, and somebody's putting their hands all over you, and you're just, I'm not a fan of this. And it's just, I sweat all the time, so I just felt bad for the person because they're getting their sweat and hair all over them. It was just it's a bad time. I ended up feeling sorry for them. I'm like,
pay them extra.
I know a couple of people here who are into the Thai massages, which are not like oh, how's it going? Rub you. It's like punching you and like beating the shit out of you. Like you walk away bruised and sore from it. Like it's not a relaxing thing, but they like
Isn't
swear
that
by
kind
it.
of masochistic to do that?
I don't know. It's like they get like basically blunt sticks and like poke you with them and like it's painful apparently. I'm like, God damn it! Like how is that? Like yeah, but it really loosens you up after a couple of days of you being sore and bruised. Like, no thanks.
See, at least you're not that guy getting punched in the balls or whatever they do in Thai massages. I don't know. Or even something that's supposed to relax me but stresses me out completely. Hot tubs. Those are the bane of my existence.
Or I haven't been since I was like a child. Like I don't know. I haven't gone in my adulthood.
I don't. Like, what do you think about hot tubs?
If I'm like in a hot tub with just one other person, like my significant other, not a problem. When I'm in a hot tub with a group of people, kind of weird, and especially when it's like a public hot tub. If it's somebody's backyard, I'm like, not so bad. But if it's like, hey, you're at some hotel or some resort, I'm kind of like, oh God, no. It's the germaphobe in me.
You're just sitting there with Amanda, and like an old dude comes in there, and he's just like, you swing?
Hey, bro. He just tries to use like a coat.
He's like, what the fuck? He's like, no, it's not what you think. I'm gonna have sex with you, not your wife.
Well, of course,
a wink.
Yeah.
You got to say a keyword, Eric. Normally it's with keywords. He's like, hey, bro, pepperoni pizza. And then we're like, what?
No, I think that guy's probably delivering your pizza. He wanted nothing to do with sex.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That was why it was so weird last time.
Is that why he kept screaming at me as I tried to suck his dick?
He dropped the pizza on my head and then started screaming.
Yeah.
The pepperoni pizza, bro.
Yeah. I remember back in May when I went my buddy Eric's bachelor party. We talked about because we got a cabin in or it was March or whenever the fuck it was, I don't remember. We got a cabin up in Big Bear, and he was like, hey, do we want to get a hot tub or not? And it's like, nah, we don't really care, and also it's going to be 5 guys. Like,
That's a good restaurant. Good little.
Yeah.
I like Five Guys.
That's a good deal. Not bad. Not bad stuff.
It's no pepperoni pizza, bro. It's like the 1-2 punch, but different. Have you guys tried any yoga or meditation when you're dealing with that kind of stuff?
Yes to both.
I have a nice book about meditation I have yet to read that a nice a Hare Krishna monk gave me at Comic-Con, which I was like, I felt kind of like an idiot for having it, but I was at my a friend's place for improv practice, and one of her roommates or her has a hardback copy in their like little library in their living room, and I was like, oh, so this is just a thing that some people have. Okay, so I'm not a weirdo for having it.
Or he just visits a lot of people, and you happen to get the soft cover one because he ran out of all the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to carry the hardcovers all around Comic-Con.
Yeah, I mean, he might. That might be his way of de-stressing.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that in our culture, we stress out about a bunch of different stuff, though. Things that don't really deserve as much attention as we think they do, especially at the time. And finding a perspective is really important. So when our ancestors were stressed out, it was because they didn't have a place to eat or, drink or a home. And within a few thousand years, things have changed.
Because several animals were chasing them?
Yeah, animals chasing them, or, warring tribes, or, just all kinds of weird stuff. The things we stress out nowadays are all pretty much self-imposed if you're in one of the richer nations of the world.
Well, I just think part of that is the reason why we're stressed, and this is based entirely on my own opinion and no scientific fact, is when we were busy trying to hunt like fucking deer so that we wouldn't starve and maybe survive the winter, we weren't stressed because we were in it all the time, constantly having to pay attention, like watching out for mountain lions. Now we sit around so much, and we've got time to think about all the shit in our lives. Like, if you're running through the forest in a loincloth with a fucking spear trying to kill a fucking mountain lion before it kills you, you don't have time to be stressed out.
Right, you
don't have time to go, oh, today's not so great.
Well,
no, because you're too busy yelling, "Ah, mountain lion."
Yeah, you're like, fuck, mountain lion,
Well, that actually plays into exactly the whole stress of everything. Have you ever heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a thing, right? Like we if we're sitting there worrying about our psychological.
Is that one of the Ultimates and Heroes of the Storm?
Yes, that's the next new character coming. Next patch is Maslow.
No, they already have him.
Oh, okay, that's
the Goblin with the robot.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Explosions. It's just. But yeah, so basically, in a nutshell, it's a pyramid, and at the bottom it talks about safety and love and belonging. And so, okay, we got food taken care of, we got housing taken care of, we have people around us, and now we're at that peak, that self-actualization of the hierarchy of needs. And it's exactly what you're talking about, Eric, where we're worried about, we finally have time to worry about other things. It's exactly the same thing as if you're poor. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't have time to think about how you're going to save money, because you have to think about how you're going to make money to have the next meal, to pay the next meal.
To save the money?
Yeah, you don't have time to save the money. Yeah, and that's actually what happens a lot of times when a person goes from nothing to having a lot of money. They don't know how to save money, and they spend that money because you're stuck in a mindset. So what you're touching on, Eric, is a very real thing that I learned in a sociology class in community college.
I'm just bullshitting like I mostly do.
Right, but I mean that's what a sociology is, right? It's the study of people, and that's pretty much bullshit. It's a thing that we made up to stress out about. So basically, take a load off, guys. Well, if you're listening to the show, things are not that bad, unless
No, they could be. They could be that bad. Don't tell these people. You don't know them. They could be that bad.
There's a tiger behind someone right now.
Yeah, you don't fucking know that. One guy's locked in a basement and being forced to listen to this. Like, he doesn't want to. He's locked in a basement and it's being pumped through speakers and by some unseen tormentor who he doesn't know is probably a guy he bumped into in high school and didn't say sorry. And that guy always held a grudge, but he doesn't fucking remember this. But this guy's got a lot of stress. So don't say oh, it's not that bad. It could be that bad for some people.
I don't know. Like, I think by this time you'd be experiencing some pretty major Stockholm syndrome for us. So Daryl
at
down there in the
300
basement, he's gonna be fine.
341 eposodes. He's probably, these guys are amazing. I can't wait to get out. I'm going to be their 4th podcast host.
That's what I'm convinced. I'm convinced. Poor Eric in our chat room, he's experiencing some major Stockholm syndrome now, going through all those episodes so quickly. I feel like it's some sort of punishment, ritual punishment at this point. But yeah, I mean, if you've known us for 6.5 years or so, then
Almost 7.
Yeah, almost 7 years at the end of this month. How long does it take for Stockholm syndrome to set in? That could totally be.
They didn't talk about that in your sociology class, Mr. Professor?
I'm not a professor. I don't even have a degree. What are you talking about? I just reference things that come up off a Radiolab. That's how I sound smart about stuff once in a while. By the way, Radiolab podcast, go check it out. That's great.
That's a really good one to listen to when you're stressing. But you feel smarter afterwards.
See, that's what works. Ike is educated, so he talks about things he knows about. You hear things on you secondhand on Facebook articles and podcasts, and that's how you talk about it. And I just make shit up.
Okay. No, I totally. I know you're making a joke, but man, there are too many people that just go to that surface level of understanding on things, and oh my gosh, I actually I had a moment earlier this week because someone I know was sitting there popping off about how this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong, and it was all anecdotal evidence. There was no facts. There was nothing vetted. It was just ideas. And so I typed up a story. I try not to engage with stupidity because it just tends to be a downward spiral, right? And I just went for it, and then I felt terrible afterwards because I'm like, this didn't help any situation. I totally all I did was stress myself out. And
you're saying that somebody posted something on Facebook that you didn't agree with politically, and you tried to have an exchange with them, and it didn't change their minds?
No. I've been there where I try to have a real exchange with somebody. I'll do it in a private message because I don't want to put everything on blast because this is not what I want to do with that kind of stuff. People tend to be defensive enough with views, and especially if you're just having a lot of times I'm just curious. I want to know why they feel the way they do about something because I like to know what make people tick. But man,
you fucking feminazi.
So yeah, this was one of those times where it's like, you're an imbecile and I can't stand you. You're the worst kind of human ever. The low watermark of society has been set by you.
Well, I'm glad you didn't say anything that was inflammatory or that you couldn't take back.
Exactly. So, I encapsulate that into a small message. I sent that, and I couldn't believe myself. I was like, wow, that was terrible. That was me where I was stressed out about something.
And honestly, I'm still pissed you said all that shit to me.
Oh, I mean, you have different political opinions than I do, so you're wrong about everything. I can't trust you now. Yeah, but that was one of those times where I got super stressed out about something where it would have behooved me to go for a walk, listen to some music, maybe eat some high-calorie foods. I don't know. That probably wouldn't have worked. But I wish I would have caught myself. I wish I was able to remove myself from the situation because when you say something, you can't take it back. So
I wish you would stop talking about all this bullshit so we can start plugging each other.
All right.
My plug for this week is going to be archive.org, because if you go to archive.org/details/Nintendo Power, you know what you get? The first fucking 15 years of Nintendo Power, free.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah. So you can now just read the first 15 years, the first 145 issues of Nintendo Power, absolutely for free on archive.org. It's amazing.
You can get the walkthrough of Ganon's castle.
Yep, you can get all kinds of shit.
So my plug for this week is the invaluable to me, and by invaluable I mean, I don't know, I haven't donated them any money, so I probably should. Calm.com. This app has, it's an app for your phone, and it's also on the website. You just sit there, you go to calm.com, you press F11 on your keyboard, and you just veg out. You could actually do different meditations and things like that, guided meditations, or just listen to the sounds of nature. Especially if you have a decent pair of headphones, even a crappy one sounds fine. and you just relax. Just take 5 minutes out of your day, and you can deal with it, man. Whatever's going on, it's not that bad. Calm.com. This is something that I use. It's a tool that has kind of been a gateway tool of actually calming myself down. So I use it all the time. I endorse it. Go check it out. Ike, what do you got?
I got two, because I gotta give a shout out to Matt Norris again, because he's an awesome photographer. If you live in the Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey area, and you're looking for an awesome photographer, check out mgnorris.com. He makes some great photographs of cosplay, non-cosplay. You know, give him a shout if you're looking for some cool photographs to be taken.
Cosplay, nosplay.
Cosplay.
Thought it said non-cosplay. Anyway, so the other plug is on the Netflix original series called Stranger Things. Been watching that. It's amazing.
I've heard things. I've heard good things about that. I want to give one more shout out. Man, this guy is at Top Dead Center. They do such a good job. They gave us an awesome plug this week again, and I just like those guys, all of them. So Eric, Michael, James, thanks a bunch. You guys are awesome. If you want to follow me, you can. You can follow me on Instagram, Joe Q Car. That is Joe, the letter Q, and Car. Follow me on Instagram.
Okay. Also, I'll plug this Saturday at 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. I'm running a game of Goblin Quest on the Saving Throw Twitch channel. You can find that on twitch.tv/Saving Throw Show. Or Saving Throw Show on YouTube as well, if you want to watch it. It should be fun, bringing in some fun people to play a game where you play a bunch of goblins and you die a lot.
Oh, I also really want to get a copy of that drinking game that Brady introduced me to.
Yeah.
Another
but also,
big shout out to Brady for actually donating a decent chunk of change. We really appreciate it. If you want to support the show, you definitely can. Go to justcoolenough.com, hit the donate button. We totally appreciate it. And one day, maybe if we get enough in there, we could actually go do something cool, like go to a convention together, or actually host a show where we're all actually in the same room. I don't think that's still never happened.
I think Brady should have used that money to buy me a copy of the cards that he showed me on Facebook rather than the show, because I mean I matter more. I'm a professional, the only professional in the show.
You graduated college. You deserve it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Anyways, you can always follow me on Twitter at Duncor, D-U-N-C-O-R, or Mostly Shit on Instagram.
Yeah, follow Eric's Instagram. It's actually really fun to watch Eric's coming out of his shell. So Mostly Shit on Instagram. Go check it out. Again, plugging my own stuff.
I'm actually if you check out my Instagram, they've added basically Snapchat, and I'm Snapchatting the Ninja Turtles coming out of our shells musical. That's what he meant.
Ooh, we got other plugs coming from the live chat room. Thanks again, guys, in the live chat room. Especially who am I saying especially to? I don't want to say Gnaime. No, that's not how you would say that. Gnime. Thank you very much for.
Anyways, Ike, how can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram, Ike_Dodge, because that's where you can find all my wonderful photography that I get paid for. Not really.
Awesome.
Not really. MyNoise.net. Go check it out. That's another site like Calm.com.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you all next week, but until then, have a wonderful... Fuck off.
What? No! Why? What? You were doing so good, and you were at the intro.
That's how
and
I
the outro.
de-stress. It's how I de-stress. I gotta
just try it. Just say it. Say it, Joe. Just say fuck off.
Out.
No.
I love all of our listeners. Our listeners.
Tell them to fuck off. That's why I like Saving Throw.
It's an intervention, Joe.
We called the listeners garbage people on that show.
Vampire.